Hello and welcome back to Dirty 30, the show where Lauren and I talk about just the facts and do so in only 30 minutes, or we have to take a bunch of shots next episode. So join us tonight as we discuss some of the best, and probably not the brightest, Florida man headlines this week on the Dirty 30.
The Brew Interviews, Coast to Coast, Brews, Faves, and more with Lauren and Robbie.
Before we start, I want to say congratulations to a friend of the podcast, Mr. D.L. Jennings, on the release of his second book, Awaken the Three, book 2 in the High Glade series. I know that's very confusing. You can pick it up on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com, and if you tell them the Brew Interview sent you, you'll get 0% off your book order, because we don't have a deal. So,
but it makes us feel great.
Yeah, it makes me feel great. So how you been, Lauren?
Well, Robbie, I've been all right. I had a lot of anxiety this past week. Not really sure why. But I have been quarantining for 2 weeks. I went and took a COVID test. It came back negative, which means I get to spend this whole weekend with Danny, and I am literally so excited. It has been 153 days since I've had any sort of human touch, or contact in that way, like as in just literally touching somebody. So,
Why did you do this like a long time ago?
Well, I don't know. She was worried. She was worried about her grandma. So, and I was going out, like, I didn't realize I could get groceries delivered. So, like, I was going out to grocery stores.
You didn't know that?
Like,
it's 2020.
Well, I don't know. I'm used to living in fucking Spofford. Like, you can't get anything delivered there. You can't even get mail delivered there half the time.
When's the last time you lived in Spofford?
Well, it's just ingrained in my, like,
20
being.
years ago?
No, 20 years ago I was 8, so...
Oh, it's right. How old are we?
I'm going to be 29 next month.
I didn't need to know.
And you're going to be
next
30.
Week?
I said...
Did you say next
No,
week?
next month.
Oh, I thought you said next week. I'm like, oh, I'm very unprepared.
You're like, oh no. Well, we missed our 2-year podcasting anniversary, so like we just are really bad with important dates, I think.
Sometimes, yeah. So Lauren, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, so because I was kind of sad, or I needed to cry all this week, like I just really felt like I needed to cry, so I watched my go-to cry movie, which is Beaches. And anyone who watched
Beaches.
It's guaranteed to make me ugly cry for, like, a good solid...
There is no pretty cry.
No, not when it involves me. So anyone who's seen Beaches or, like, knows the movie Beaches knows that Cece's go-to drink is a Stinger. So tonight I am drinking a Stinger, which is 2 ounces of cognac and 1 ounce of creme de menthe, shaken on ice. And for my cognac, I literally was lucky that I had one little nip of B&B liquor, French spice liqueur, and fine cognac. And then...
The basic cognac.
Yeah. And then De Kuyper, or whatever, however you say it, creme de menthe, so.
How is it?
You know, it's right up my alley, because I really love anything with creme de menthe in it. Because I love that,
Does
like...
it just overpower the cognac?
No, so it actually is, like, cognac, like, right up front, and then it's, like, a breath out of, like, mint. It's like, it's 100% an after-dinner drink, for't
Yeah.
I haven't had dinner, but I can see why this would be your go-to drink after, like, singing and shit, so...
We're not here to talk about beaches.
I know, I'm so sorry. What are you drinking, Robbie? I hear it's not liquor, so I'm...
Yeah, it's not liquor this time, but I felt it was appropriate for episode about Florida man to get a beer from Florida.
Yes.
And summer beer. So today I am drinking Margarita Gosa from Cigar City Brewing in Tampa, Florida, I believe. Yep, Tampa, Florida. And it's weird because they actually have a beer called Florida Man.
Do they?
And I wish I had had it, but I didn't. I thought of it too
Can I
late,
tell you a fun fact, Robbie? I was going through some old beer cans today to throw away, and I threw away a crowler of that beer that
Really?
I got at Cigar City when I was in Florida.
Wow. It's a great beer.
Delicious.
I love this. It's a great summer beer.
Yes, I 100%. That and their High Lie is like a super...
High Lie's good.
I think that you've had it before on the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like the easiest like summer drinking beer, so...
Yep. Margarita Gosa is apparently rare.
Really?
We bought this once a long time ago, like probably 3 months back, and we couldn't find it again. And we finally found another 6-pack of it at Tuckaway Tavern, their
Nice.
butcher and beer shop. They have the best
I
stuff in there.
think I
Anyway.
found that at Whole Foods before.
If anywhere else would be Whole Foods or a bottle shop.
Yeah.
Because the bottle, that's where we got it the first time, was a bottle shop, the Packy.
Yes.
It's everything you want from a Gosa. It's salty, it's tart, it's delicious, refreshing. What better would you want?
Nothing, because that sounds delicious.
Exactly. So we're going to get right to the topic of the Dirty 30 today. We all know the headline, Florida Man, has been all too common a thing nowadays. I mean, you hear a different Florida Man story. You don't hear the story. You used to just see the headline, let's be honest. Nobody actually reads the story.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the headline tells you everything you need to know.
Do you know the origins of the notorious Florida Man?
I have literally no idea.
So originally there's a website that would kind of post all of these crazy Florida Man headlines. Mm-hmm. But in 2013, somebody created a Twitter account called @FloridaMan, and he would take crazy headlines for crimes and events taking place around the Sunshine State.
Gotcha.
Now, normally most of these stories would go unseen by the country, except for the fact that apparently it's very easy to gain access to police records in Florida for people like journalists and reporters.
Okay.
So that's kind of one of the main reasons why it's so abundant. And they also say the high-level bizarre reports are due to Florida's highly diverse population, combined with the lack of mental health funding and drugs. There's a lot of drugs in Florida.
Probably the heat also does not help.
That place is just a dirty old swamp.
Now listen, I love Florida, okay? Why? Well, there are certain... It's just like anywhere else. Like, there's certain parts that, like, are
No, it is
fun,
not like
and
anywhere else. We're doing an episode on it.
Well, I guess that's true. But you know what I mean? Like, there's always, like, places you want to be, and there's always places you don't want to be.
You know where I don't want to be?
Florida.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I know Florida is not the same.
But you've
as
also never
state.
been to Florida. I feel like that's the same as somebody being like, oh, I don't like this kind of food, having never tried that kind of food.
No, because I am open to all new food experiences, but Florida has way too much a reputation to risk my life.
You would love my parents' home in Florida. You would thrive in that environment, Robbie.
Is it an old Jewish community? Like, what's going on? Is it just a bunch of retired folks?
But the entire community is people like my parents. And there's a private
Northerners.
Beach. Yeah, Northerners.
Yeah, rich people.
Hippies. No, not rich people, hippies.
That being said, tonight I'm going to go through various Florida Man headlines, very real headlines, by the way, and let Lauren rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being mundane, and 10 being a meth-fueled madness rampage.
Wonderful. I'm very excited, because that means I get to
Everybody
just
loves
sit
that.
here, listen to Robbie, and drink my drink.
Pretty much. Now let's begin. And remember, like I said, these are real news headlines in Florida.
Woohoo!
All right, number 1. Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw a giant radar penis. So if you've ever been in a plane or know anything about planes' radars in the tower, it traces kind of a line of where the plane's been so it can track it. This man took his private plane and drew a giant cock on the radar.
Good for him. Good for him. If only it was one of those planes that like let out the like air smoke.
The smoke.
So he like
The air. It
smoke.
lets out the air.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Blimps.
No, not blimps. You don't want to let the air out of those. The ones that like leave the smoke. You can
Yeah,
like
I know
leave.
what you're talking about,
Yeah,
Lauren.
with the cartoon. All right.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't think that's very crazy, but I like it. I'm gonna rate it a 2. I think that's
It's a
pretty.
2. It's
That's
not too
pretty
bad.
mild.
It's funnier more than weird.
Yeah, like I want to be that guy's friend.
Yeah. All right, next one. Florida man charged with assault with a deadly weapon after throwing an alligator into a Wendy's drive-through window.
I have read that one before.
Really?
Yes, that I have absolutely seen. Is that a deadly weapon? Like if it's small,
It's a fucking alligator.
yeah, but if it's small enough to fit through a drive-through window,
It didn't say it fit. He just threw it into a Wendy's
if
drive-through
it's small
window.
enough for him to pick up,
What if he's fucking jacked? Everybody's on steroids down there. You don't know.
but also like, how is that gonna accomplish anything?
What if it's meth? It's not. That's why it's crazy.
I don't know. I give this one maybe I give this a 6.
It's pretty fucked
It's pretty fucked up, but like also like,
That's a drug rampage.
but like also being, I can imagine, I've been robbed when working before. And if I would much rather have somebody throw an alligator at me than a knife. So
You do not understand alligators.
again, I feel like if it's small enough to fit through a drive-through window,
It didn't fit. He just threw it.
yeah, which makes it even less threatening because it's not near me.
Next one. Headline. Thousands of gun owners in Florida are planning to shoot down Hurricane Irma.
I would pay good money to watch that.
Yeah. Not be near it, but yeah, watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely watch it. Did it actually happen?
This is just the headlines. There's no
You
there's
didn't
no stories
look
involved.
any sort of story up for me.
There's like 25 of these and we have 30 minutes, Lauren.
Fine. Okay, I rate this one a 4 because I don't think it's that crazy. They're just dumb.
They're just crazy people.
Yeah.
Next one. Florida man tries to rob a GameStop by wearing a transparent garbage bag over his head to hide his identity.
What a dumb shit.
It didn't work.
Also, did he die? Because did he cut himself mouth holes? Like,
No, I don't know.
again,
It doesn't explain.
I don't think that's very crazy. I'll rate it about a 3.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, he's just dumb.
I like this one. Florida man paints anti-Hillary campaign messages on Tampa Bay crabs and then releasing them back into the ocean.
What?
Hillary's a horrible person, but this is just hilarious either way. It's just so funny.
I'm gonna rate it a 4 because I think it's funny.
It's just batshit crazy.
Yeah. Also, the time it took for him to like paint.
Yeah, it shows a picture of like hand-painted crab shells.
Of course it does.
All right. Florida man who tried to run to Bermuda in a giant inflatable bubble is rescued by the Coast Guard. Again. It's important to have that last bit.
I was gonna say that
Again.
doesn't seem too crazy. But again, did he just like try to? Did he like go back to the drawing board and improve his fucking like bubble?
No, because he had to get rescued, so it didn't work.
Yeah, but again, which means he tried to do it. So is he like, I can do it if I fucking make my bubble better, and then also failed? Do you think he's gonna do it again?
I hope so.
I rated a 6. 6 for effort.
6. Florida man arrested for assaulting girlfriend with fried chicken.
What kind?
This is not about me.
Like what kind of assault are we talking?
Assaulting. Assault is assault, according to the law.
Yeah, but like, did he sexually assault her with fried chicken, or did
No,
he?
because then it would say sexually assaulted.
Well,
It says assault.
So did he throw fried chicken at her? I would be happy if someone threw fried chicken at me.
Me too.
I'd be fucking thrilled.
This is a 1 in my book.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a 2. Like, throw his ass in jail and give me his chicken. That's kind of how I feel.
I wish my girlfriend would assault me with fried chicken. Next one. Florida man climbs onto playground equipment to tell children where babies come from. And the picture that they have, like his mugshot, he's like all face tattooed up and crazy with like no teeth.
That man needs to be put in an institution.
But I would also like to hear his opinions on where babies come from.
I would absolutely love to hear where he thinks babies come from. But I also want...
Maybe he's like 100% accurate. he's like super knowledgeable.
He just like really wants to spread the word of like, no, it's not storks,
It's
kids.
like science.
A penis goes in a vagina and sperm comes out, fertilizes the egg, it grows inside a mother. There you go. In case everyone else didn't know that.
1 to 10.
I want this guy really far away from kids, but I'm gonna rate it like maybe a 5, just because.
If you saw the picture, it'd be a little bit higher, but I understand.
All right, yeah, I maybe because I'm not visualizing him, but like for the children's sake, like.
Next one. Florida man stabs tourist despite having no arms.
Does the tourist have no arms, or does the Florida man have no arms?
The Florida man has no arms.
Did he stab him with a? Wait, he actually stabbed him?
He stabbed a tourist. That's all it says. It stabbed a tourist despite having no arms.
All I can imagine is like a tourist walking by like an alley, and like a guy with no arms hops out and like shanks you with his toes, like a knife he's holding with his toes.
Well, that's the question. Is the knife in his mouth or is it in his foot?
I don't know.
See? 1 to 10, Lord.
All right. If it's in his mouth, I'm going to give it a 5. And if it's in his toes, I'm going to give it a 6. Because that's just a little bit more creepy. Also, tourist, if you see a crazy guy with no arms coming at you with a knife, fucking run. What's wrong with you?
He's not hiding that knife very well, trust me. Next one. Florida man pauses police chase to rehydrate with the stolen Capri Sun. Says, smoking crack makes me thirsty.
I'm sorry, the police officer said that?
No. Why would the police officer say that?
I thought you said the police... Wait, read the headline again.
Florida man pauses police chase. So he stopped to rehydrate.
I mean, crack makes me thirsty too.
That's true.
I don't.
True.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. But I'm gonna give that one a 7 because good for him. He knows that he needs to stay hydrated.
Off of sugar water.
Well, yeah.
If you think that's a 7, this next one should be a 10. Florida man admits to killing a goat and drinking its blood for pagan sacrifice, but would still like to run for senator.
Yeah, that gets a 10. Was that the senator
also-
now? Is it? Did that
I don't
happen?
think so, no. I'm sure it did not happen. Florida man disguises himself in bull costume as he tried to burn down former lover's house using pasta sauce.
How did he expect to burn anything down with pasta sauce?
Drugs, Lord.
I guess. An 8? 9? I feel like this,
For the
maybe,
pasta
I
sauce?
think a 9 for this one, because, like,
Depends on the pasta sauce.
was it ragu? Was it prego? Homemade?
I was just thinking, ragu's like the white trash, like the most white trash,
Oh,
right?
mhm.
Can we all agree on that?
100%.
Yeah. So it goes ragu, and then prego, and then everything else is just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I support that.
Perfect.
Great.
Next one. Florida man arrested in local park for practicing karate on the local swan population.
First off, good for him. Swans are bitches. So,
Yeah, true.
but also, like, animal cruelty, don't attack swans.
Does this not sound like something I would get arrested for?
Honestly, like, walking home from a bar, I could 100%, like, picture you doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Yeah. Drunk Robbie, I think, deserves 6.5. So any of these that remind me of that.
Next one. Florida man says he danced on a patrol car, which is cop car, in order to escape the vampires.
I want to know why he thinks dancing on a cop car is gonna.
Meth. Meth. There's some explanation.
Do you think it was
in
meth
head.
or PCP?
I don't know. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, you're right. Don't do drugs, kids.
Do cocaine like a goddamn adult.
Yeah, like a fucking adult. I'm gonna give that one a 5.
Okay.
I think it was purely based on drugs. Maybe a mental disorder. That's fine.
Yeah. Tons. Yeah, these are also drugs and mental disorders.
Maybe even mental disorders caused by drugs.
Yeah. This next one also kind of sounds like me a little bit. Florida man wearing a mop on his head terrifies neighbors with his demands for eggs.
Yes.
Now, depending on what kind of eggs he's demanding, it could be even creepier.
Okay, so I'm gonna rate this based on eggs.
Yeah.
If it's normal eggs, it's a 3. Because he probably is drunk or on drugs. If it's duck eggs, I'm gonna rate it a 4. If it's ostrich eggs, it's getting a 5. And if it's like quail eggs, it's getting a 5.5.
Now, what about human lady eggs?
8.
She's like, I want your eggs.
8. It gets an 8 then.
Okay. Does it depend how hot he is? Because if he's like a good-looking dude
No.
and he comes to some
Nope.
like lonely girl and he's like, I demand your eggs. She's like, okay.
Depends on
Pretty
how
cute.
lonely she is.
Cute people get away with everything. It's
Well, just remember there's baggage involved in that. If he's wearing a mop on his head, you probably don't want to have his baby.
Nobody's saying marry the guy.
Yeah, but if he puts his dick in you, there's a chance you might get pregnant. So, like, just keep that in mind. You don't want mop fucking hats guy's baby.
With the amount of drugs in his system, there's no way he's producing any functional sperm.
Well, you never know. I have some friends whose parents were drug addicts.
There's drug addicts and there's Florida meth.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, next one. Florida man arrested for attempting to steal a utility pole by strapping it to the top of his SUV. If you don't know what a utility pole, it's basically
It's a telephone
pole.
Yeah, yeah.
A full size. I saw the picture. It's a full size telephone pole.
Was it in the ground still?
No, he had it on his car.
Did he take it out of the ground?
It doesn't say. I'm sure he cut it down.
Like, how did he get the utilities off? Or was it just, like, chilling on the ground? Why are they
Lord.
mad? Why are they mad? Or maybe it was...
Lord.
I don't know.
Listen, was it Disneyland or Disney World? Is that in Florida? Which one's in Florida?
Sure, I have no idea. Disney.
Disneyland is in Florida, okay? It is a magical place. Magical things happen, like utility poles strapped to vehicles. You don't ask how it got there, it just fucking happens.
All right, I'm going to give it a 3. I have a lot of questions.
I know. I'll try to find that one again and send it
Thank
to you.
you.
Next one. Florida man tries to leave strip club, crashes into a house, and runs himself over.
How?
I don't know. It does not say.
The only way I can picture this happening is he didn't wear a seatbelt when flying through the windshield, and then the car just like continued
kept
to
going.
go over him.
I'm assuming.
So either he got like a real good lap dance,
They just totally fucked up
Yeah.
his lower half. He couldn't hit the pedals right.
He
and
literally,
just-
like, his legs are just numb, and he was...
Yeah.
Yeah. Or filled
It's one of
with...
those girls that can do like the booty clap thing.
Wow. All right, listen,
Like,
Robbie,
pick
I
up
haven't
golf
had any
balls.
human touch in 153 days, so, like, let's not talk about that, please.
1 to 10.
What? Oh, so that... Yeah. I'm going to give that a 6, because I'm just impressed.
Next one, I totally understand this one. Florida man calls 911 to report lack of vodka.
Is it during the pandemic? Because that's a 1.
No.
And if it's not during the pandemic, then it gets a 3.
Florida man steals beers from local store because he thought they were, quote unquote, abandoned. Just doing his duty.
Well, if it were the zombie apocalypse and I thought the stores were abandoned, I would also take all the beer. I don't really think that that's crazy. I think his excuse is just crazy. So, like,
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2.
Florida man wanders naked through neighborhood, having cooking oil and an erection, saying he's aroused by the rain.
Was it raining out?
It's Florida, so there's a high chance of that.
So is the cooking oil in like a pan? Were there pictures?
There was a picture, it was a security cam footage picture, but you couldn't really tell because it was from behind him because they didn't want to obviously show his erect cock. So
Now, was he wearing sandals?
I didn't notice. I'd have to look again.
If he's wearing sandals, he gets a 7. But if he's totally naked, it's a 6.
Really? That's how sandals do.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Totally naked with sandals on? Fuck you.
You want to protect your feet.
Yeah, but like, commit to it, dude. I don't like that.
If I'm going streaking, I'm putting shoes on. That's all I'm saying.
I hate shoes.
I hate shoes.
And actually, if they were closed-toe shoes, he gets a fucking 8. Because,
You're an anti-shoeist.
yeah, I fucking hate shoes.
Okay.
I would love to be
People like you
barefoot.
make me sick.
Why?
Anti-shoeist.
Well, it's not like I want to walk around the grocery store with no shoes. I just...
I would never let you into my grocery store. Regardless of shoes.
Rude.
All right. Next one. Underwear-clad Florida man spends 4 hours yelling at people from the roof of a Wendy's. Yet another Wendy's in Florida. Maybe the same Wendy's. I don't know. That could actually be pretty funny.
The same Wendy's. It's only...
That's the guy, the alligator guy.
The only Wendy's that this shit happens at. First off, I want to know why it took them 4 hours to get him off of the roof. Also, why? All right.
That's probably normal in Florida. Just like, oh, there's Joe again.
Screaming
obscenities
why
from
the
the
fuck
roof of
can't
Wendy's.
I see this shit when I go to Florida?
Because you go to the fucking, like, hoity-toity neighborhood.
It's not hoity-toity. No, hoity-toity.
It's hoity-toity.
No, hoity-toity neighborhoods are the, like, gated communities with a fucking golf course. That's hoity-toity. Not where my parents live. God.
Are they trailer trash now?
No, they don't live in a trailer either. They live in just
house
a
just has
normal
wheels.
neighborhood.
1 to 10.
All right. Underwear guy on the roof gets a 5.
All right, 5.
Just for the commitment.
Next up, Florida man arrested for beating a drag queen with a tiki torch while dressed as a KKK member, now running for mayor.
I'm infuriated by that headline. Like, of course, a KKK member is gonna run for mayor. And
They didn't say he was a KKK member. He just said he's dressed as a KKK
but he
member.
obviously holds their ideals. If you beat a fucking transgendered person, fuck him.
Maybe I'd like to hear his side of the story. Maybe the drag queen was just being real mean. Drag queens are mean
Violence
sometimes, let's
is
be honest.
never the answer.
Violence? Tell that to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, okay?
Robbie.
What? Saved millions of lives. 1 to 10, Lauren. He's running for mayor.
6.
We have 2 left.
Oh, good.
Next one. Florida man proudly claims that he's the first man ever to vape semen.
Why? Why?
'Cause it's
Why would
Florida.
you vape semen? Why? What
Are you
is...
surprised by these vapors?
I want to know
Vape Nation, y'all.
why. I want to know why somebody was like, you know what? I want to know if it can be vaped. Semen. You know what I'm gonna do? Fucking vape it. And then jerked off into their fucking vape pen and then vaped it. Why?
Yeah, that's the story.
Why?
I don't know. My first thought would be, can I vape gravy? But
That
that'd be more fun.
that
Can
would
we call
be
them
delicious. Vapus. Yeah.
I just think that fits their personality.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this an 8. I
Yeah.
can't even wrap my...
These vapists. I think, is it Cam a vapist? I don't know.
Yeah, Cam vapes. Cam...
He's a vapist.
Damn it, Cam.
Just out there vaping all day.
Fucking vaping, everyone.
God, such a bad. Okay.
All right.
Last one. Florida man gets bored and calls 911 to talk about Hitler. Charged with the misuse of the 911 system.
Oh, well, what was he saying about Hitler?
He was just agreeing with his ideals.
Oh, throw that guy in jail. Lock him up. Why? Why would you call 911? Why wouldn't you just call your fucking
Florida,
KKK
and there's a lot
buddies?
of drugs, Lauren.
God, I hate these people so much. I hate.
So does the rest of the country.
I just hate them. I'm gonna give this one a 4, just out of hatred.
Do it for Hitler.
No, fuck Hitler.
All right, we have 2 minutes left. Lauren, you want to rate your drink real quick?
Ooh, all right. So tonight, I almost just spilled the rest of it all over.
Talk slower. Rate your goddamn drink. We have 2 minutes.
Oh,
I still got to do the outro.
Jesus. You want me to talk slower? Is that what you said?
No.
All right. So I drank Stinger tonight. It is cognac and creme de menthe, and it's good. It's a good after dinner drink. I rated a 4.
I drank Margarita Gosa from Cigar City Brewing in Tampa, Florida. And to round off the whole Florida vibe, I shaved my facial hair into a shitty mustache, and I'm wearing my Reba McEntire t-shirt.
Yes.
So, you know, it just kind of fits the whole picture. I like this beer. Very enjoyable on a summer day. 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh, yes.
Very good beer.
I would agree with that rating.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode of the Dirty 30. You can find the Brew Interviews on our Instagram account at The Brew Interviews or on Twitter at The Brew Interviews. You can also send us an email at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com or on Facebook under The Brew Interviews.
Good push.
And if you feel so inclined, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Brew Interviews and become part of the Brew Interviews family, just like these people. Hillary, Mitch, Steph, Karen, Danny, Jess, and the Wreck My Podcast crew, thank you very much for supporting the show. Also, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And be sure to check out our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and use our promo code BREW4U, that's brew, the number 4U, to get 50% off almost any item. So get yourself something sexy and also help out the show at the same time. For the Brew Interviews, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Lauren.
Good night.
Good night.
This has been The Brew Interviews, a podcast about craft beers coast to coast with Lauren and Robbie.
I wish my girlfriend would assault me with fried chicken.
No, fuck Hitler.